Hi everyone, Mike here from BikesbyMike with another cycling related video. I'm in the basement today to show you how I set up my cycling pain cave. Let's get to it. So first, let me say that I don't have the ideal setup for a cycling gym. I have a limited amount of space in my basement, and the basement is used for different purposes. So I've had to make do with what I have, probably like a lot of you. But I've been able to make it work because I make sure that what's in the basement is only those things that I absolutely need in the basement. My basement's used for three things: snooker, workout space, and spinning space. So with the snooker table, there's not a lot of room for anything else, so I have to make sure that what's here is just the essentials that I need for any of those three activities. But if you want your indoor cycling gym to work well, you really need 7 essential items. And those are a spin bike, a mat, a table, a fan, a screen or TV monitor, a training app with associated hardware, and some form of music. Okay, let's start with probably the most important item, the bike. So I'm using the Wahoo Kickr bike, which I purchased back in early 2021. So I have a couple of years use on it, and overall I really do like this bike. There's a couple minor fixes and tweaks I've had to do over the years, but overall it performs exceptionally well, and I still believe, as I did when I bought it, that it's the best indoor bike on the market today. If you haven't checked out my review of the Wahoo Kickr bike, please click on the link in the description below. I should point out that there's one modification I did have to make to this bike, and that is to mount the rear leveling feet onto piano casters to raise them off the floor a bit. While this isn't necessary if your bike is on a hard surface, it will likely be needed if it's on carpet like I have here. Without the casters, the bottom frame support sits too low to the floor and actually prevents the leveling feet from carrying the full weight of the bike. So I found that without the casters to raise it up a bit, the bike was unstable. While the height of the leveling feet is adjustable by 1 inch or so, I couldn't extend them enough. Piano casters is a perfect solution to this. I found mine on Amazon. I'll put a link to that in the description below. The next essential item is a mat, a rubber mat. So if you're using your indoor trainer on either carpet or hardwood floors, for sure you're going to want to protect it with a mat. But even if you're using it on a concrete floor or laminate, it's just going to make cleaning up all the sweat a lot easier if you're using a rubber mat or some kind of mat. So I'm using the Wahoo Kickr mat here. Obviously any kind of rubber mat will do just fine. So with the Wahoo Kickr bike or any indoor bike or smart trainer, you're unlikely to have much storage space. So with the Kickr bike, basically you have one cage for one water bottle, and that's about it. So you're going to need a place to keep your towel, your energy bars and gels, your water bottle. In my case, I'm using the Apple TV to run the Rouvy app, so I need access to that, and I want my phone accessible as well. So get a table or some other storage space that you can use to hold all the things you're going to need for your ride. So the next essential item you need is a really good fan. So without a fan, regardless of how cool the room is that you're cycling in, you're going to find you overheat within 5 minutes. So if you want to get a good workout and be comfortable, you're going to have to get yourself a fan to move some air around to replicate what you'd get if you're outside riding. So you can use almost any fan. It really doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be a spin bike specific fan, but it does have to move a lot of air, and you want it relatively quiet, just so it's not overly distracting. The fact is, your spin bike creates noise. You're probably playing music, so it doesn't have to be super silent, but if it's too noisy, it's going to be irritating as well. So I'm using the Dyson Cool Tower fan, which I like. It's relatively slim, moves quite a bit of air, and is quite silent. But I also know it's pretty expensive for what it is, so I'm sure there's better options out there. I'm not actually sure what those are. So if you know what a good spin fan is, please put it in the description below, because I'd like to know, and others I'm sure would like to know as well. So the next important item is a TV monitor or screen, like I have here. I have a 60-inch TV screen, which is about the right size for my space. My bike is quite a large distance away from the TV, so a larger TV screen certainly helps out. Basically here, you can't go too big, so get the largest TV or monitor that'll fit in the space that you can afford. I also like the fact that my monitor is mounted to a pull-out swivel TV mount, so I can bring it closer to me when it's in use, but be able to push it back out of the way when not in use. I basically looked for one that would hold the weight of my TV and pull it out as far away from the wall as possible, so it could bring it closer to the bike when it's in use. I found a good one on Amazon, which I'll post in the description below. Next is your software or your cycling app that you want to use with your spin bike. Obviously, you don't have to use an app, but it's going to be more immersive and more enjoyable if you do have one of the many cycling apps available on the market today. So I'm using the Wahoo app, which I've been using for 3 or 4 years now, and I just love it. So I'll do a separate review in the future on Wahoo, but I have tried all of the other major cycling apps on the market, and in my opinion, Wahoo is the best overall cycling app. It certainly is the most realistic and immersive of the ones that are very well known on the market today. All of the cycling apps have their own strengths, but if you're looking for the most realistic and immersive cycling experience, then really Wahoo can't be beat. I use it for all my indoor cycling needs. The highlight is a virtual reality feature that puts you on a real-world route. No fake animated roads and landscapes here. These are 2K videos of the actual cycling routes with avatars of you and other riders on the routes superimposed onto the routes in a very realistic way. You can choose from over 15,000 kilometers and 500 plus augmented reality routes. You can choose to ride them by yourself, with your friends, or race them with other riders. Wahoo also has some stock workouts you can follow, or you can create your own custom workouts. I created my own FTP test workout, which was really easy to set up. I run my Wahoo on an Apple TV, but the app can be used with Windows, Mac, smartphone, or tablet as well. It is also compatible with all the major smart trainers and smart indoor bikes on the market today. The last thing you're going to need is some music. You don't have to have it, but it's going to make it a lot more enjoyable if you can listen to something as you spin. So I have a Bluesound Wi-Fi speaker connected to Deezer music streaming service. Works well for me, but obviously any way you can get music into your workout area, it's going to make it a lot more enjoyable. So that's pretty much it. That's how I've set up my indoor cycling pain cave. But you're going to have to do yours in a way that best suits the space you have and the equipment you're using. I hope some of this has been helpful. If you have any questions or comments, please put them in the comment section below. That's all I got for today, folks. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and share it with your friends. And if you're not a subscriber to the channel, please subscribe, as it allows me to create more content for all of you. See you next time. Happy rolling.